Laugh Factory Network.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Who am I? You sure you want to know?
What does that make us? Sidekicks?
It's the Trusty Sidekick podcast with your hosts, Jay Washington, Bobby Hill.
What's happening, everybody? We are back. It is episode 74 of the Trusty Sidekick podcast here on the Laugh Factory Podcast Network. With me, your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington.
And me, your resident superhero, Bobby Hill.
Hey, y'all. Happy holidays, first and foremost, to everybody who's listening. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad. You know, what you celebrate.
Shimmy, Shambu, Bam.
You know, Rochambeau, everything, man.
This is the start of Hanukkah tonight. So,
we're recording this. It's the official start of Hanukkah, man.
Non-celebrating, but late in the day found out to be Jews. So happy Hanukkah to all my fellow Jews out there.
So yeah, we just wanted to make sure we kick that. So here's the thing. I'm going to remind you guys later, but this is going to be our last official episode as far as like us coming recapping everything for the year, because everything's going on pretty much break.
Yeah,
so,
everything's pretty much done. I think there's only one more episode of Gifted, and
shows are going on mid-season finale, so there won't be a lot of news. If there is any news, as always, we'll tell you guys, like always, stay tuned to the Trusty Sidekick website. It'll be up there.
Yep.
But we're gonna do this episode for you guys, get everything out. Then afterwards, we'll tell you about what we got coming up for the rest of the year, because we will have more podcasts coming out for the rest of the year. We'll tell you guys about that later. But
there are more shows coming. This will be the last of the recap and review and news episodes.
The basic your weekly catch up with us.
We got our year-end reviews coming.
Yeah, we'll tell you about all those later. But I want to get into this. What's been up with your past week, bro?
Oh man, I've been doing some comedy, been doing some trivia, been running around like a maniac for the most part. Man, it's so hard to even get the last week together from the last time we've recorded this episode. There's been so much going on. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ryan Buds, who we just did his podcast, his Trivia with Buds podcast, man, which is a lot of fun.
Shout out to Ryan and fuck Ryan at the same time.
Jay and I compete against each other on the podcast.
And Bobby won, I will admit that. And Bobby won of stuff. I was like, God damn it, because it was like saying the keyword that we had to have buzz in. I knew the answer. Bobby would say it faster, but it was fun doing that.
It was a lot of fun for that. Our episode of Face Value did air.
Yeah, man. For those who didn't get a chance to catch it, you can go to bet.com/facevalue and see our episode with us and team captain Slink Johnson, man.
Shout out to Slink Johnson for the victory.
We won.
We did win.
So shout out to people who saw that, man.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We had to audition, so it's going in the credits.
Also, make sure you
for audition, it's in the credits. Those are the rules.
That is hilarious. Also, make sure you check out the clip, and we teach you baby mama mathematics. And I think, honestly, in all regards and all retrospect, and I haven't said this publicly or privately, and I'll say it now on the podcast, I think you stole the show with the line, Pittsburgh is a fat baby mama city.
That was a lot of fun. It was a good time. I had a good time there. It was. I was happy to make my first cable appearance on BET. That made me feel like
it just validated your blackness.
Feel like
it validated your blackness.
Yeah, I could back the fuck up just a little bit. Them challenges.
That's hilarious.
No, but it was a good last week, and we got paid for it too. So that's always good.
Hey,
money's in hand.
Hey, man,
which is nice. But what about you, man? What was your last week like?
Yeah, again, Face Value was a dope thing that happened back on doing a lot of the different podcasts with different people, man. Of course, auditioning. A lot of comedy shows all around Los Angeles. Shouts out to the Killer Unicorn show that I did at Nerd Melt. Shouts out. Where was I Friday? I do a show and sometimes I forget where I'm at because I've been so tired.
And there's so many shows.
There's so many.
Thank
you to everybody I've been working with, man. I'll tell you about where I'm coming up this weekend. You'll definitely like that one, so stay tuned for that. But I think that's instead of going all into what we're doing, we're talking to a lot of stuff towards the end. Let's get it cracking.
Just go. I mean, here's the deal. Find us in the world. Find us on social media. Find where we're performing. Come see us, and then you don't have to worry about what's going on with our week.
This is true. You'll already know. You'll be a part of it.
What's going on? Just show up where we tell you we're going to be.
Well, also, and I understand we have a lot of fans internationally in different cities and states who can't be here with us because we do record out of Los Angeles, California, Burbank, whatever. I understand there's a lot of people can't be here with us, see us directly. So listen, you still can follow on social media.
Hit us up on Patreon.
Yeah, buddy.
Get that Skype session going. We'll be glad to talk to you for a little while. Our speaking of talking to some people they ain't talked to in a little while, Supergirl got close to her roots in the way she was not looking forward to getting close to her roots.
Mid-season finale. We last, you find out about the whole Monel having a wife. Kara's trying to deal with it, and we finally see Rain.
Yeah, we get the full rise of Rain in that
horrible ass
costume.
mask. The costume is
dope.
dope.
They fight in the dark.
Yo, why they give her long dreadlocks?
So here's the thing. So they didn't want to ugly up Odette Usman.
I get that.
So because in the comics, Rain
is a beast in the face,
looking thing. Because obviously they don't need her to look sexy in the comics. That's not why you're buying it. But that is why if you're 17, you're gonna watch the show. So they needed to throw a mask on her. But
bruh, they gave the mask dreadlocks. They made the mask hipster.
She got
in
a
the back
dreadlock mask
with a mohawk. Like, yo, what? So,
which is the hair from the Rain in the comic books. But she does. There's a rundown of trying to find out what's going on with this Rain creature, this Rain character.
Well, first of all, it's just so calm with the whole. There's another Kryptonian here.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. They've normalized aliens on this show, though. This is an Earth where aliens are the norm.
They're cool.
There'll be another Kryptonian isn't crazy.
I think that's but see, the thing is, Kara and Cal are supposedly the last son and daughter of Krypton. Supposedly. So every time a new Kryptonian pops up, we're just like, well, how many of you motherfuckers is it out there?
There's a few of them out there. And now she's dealing with this also in the midst of struggling with Mon-El finding out that he's married.
And and his wife is like, hey, look.
And she cold.
His wife bad. She like, listen. But she straight up like, yo, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
See, I get it.
She like, listen, it took him some years before he got this pussy. Like, he didn't want to, because she even tells him.
He waited like 4-5 years.
She tell him, she's like, yo, he didn't just jump at this.
Right. And she was like, and I tried to give it to him.
She's like, I was throwing this thing out.
I was trying to give it to him.
She was like, all he kept doing was talking about you.
Talking about Kara. Let's get right to it. What did you think of the beatdown that
Rain beat the S off her chest?
First of all, I thought that was so. There's a lot of CGI in there, but also they really put the budget into that.
Is that Kevin Smith directed that? It looks like it.
No, that wasn't Kevin Smith. I don't think he had directed one before.
I know he did one.
But just the beatdown when they were winding up in the different office buildings
with the Christmas music going on, with the music staying playing. That was what made that episode work.
I love
for me.
Scenes when there's music playing that doesn't match up with what's happening in the scene.
And you don't change it. You don't all of a sudden switch it to this intense fight music. You let what was going on in the office stay playing.
Yeah.
I like the fight scenes. I like the fact Rain is out here murdering people.
She has no problem.
It wasn't even like blatant. It wasn't even like, oh, there's just been a little bit of death. They're like, oh, yo, that was heat vision.
She's on a mission. How do you feel about the idea that the character Samantha doesn't really know what's happening? She's kind of not. She's kind of she kind of Killer Frost out on this.
I think that's what I related it to. Like, you had a Killer Frost moment to an extent, but I think not even a difference. It's going to go down the same path where they're going to be one and the same. Yeah. And the problem is going to be that when these two become one and the same, Samantha's going to turn evil. And what they're going to do is you already see this. And I'm going to jump to a point we have later on because I'll answer this already.
Right.
Towards the end of the season, it's going to come down where Rain and Supergirl are fighting for sure.
Right.
Ruby knows her mother is Rain.
Of course.
Ruby's going to be the one to try to talk her out of it. You see exactly what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate that they've made it so blatant.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's not that.
Yeah.
Because you can see, like, everything is, every time she fades out, Ruby's like, Mom.
Right. She's always one pulling her back from
it.
Yep.
So you see what's about to happen.
Or will they finally kill a kid on TV?
Push a building on that motherfucker. Will they finally let the scaffolding?
Yeah, there'll be an issue where Kara's going to save Ruby, or does Ruby...
Or Rain accidentally kills her.
Right.
In a fight with Kara.
Right.
So that may happen.
Now, Ruby is a child of Kryptonian, so...
Well, she's half Kryptonian.
Right.
So
still the child of one, though.
This is true, but technically her, unlike Rain, like, remember with Rain, her powers hadn't manifested because Rain is Kryptonian all the way.
I just mean the idea of they're trying to save Samantha as a character, right? Because they're trying to save her in this way of, like, you don't want to hate her Because they jumped her ahead in this episode because all of a sudden these are her best friends. I love you girls.
Well, they've been doing that
twice on TV. They hang out twice
on TV.
These always hang out twice, and all of a sudden,
man,
it's so good to have best friends like you. You just got the job 4 episodes ago.
Sex in the City, dog. Sex in the City, dog.
4 episodes
Sex in the City, dog. I know it's fucked up that I'm representing Sex in the City, but Sex in the City, dog.
James and Lena.
Shouts out to Jimmy Olsen finally getting some.
Pretty sure I called this one.
I think you did. I'm glad
we were on top of that a while ago. I was like, how about James and Lena? How about that?
Yo, the fact that she poured that stiff ass drink and Jimmy was like, I'll put this shit down real quick.
Yeah.
So my question was, ain't nobody else in the office while they was boning? What happens if you got a reporter?
Where is Miss Tessmacher?
Right. What if Miss Tessmacher out here? Well, remember she was getting some with my nail. Right. In the closet.
Oh, that's right. Meinel worked Tessmacher over. Meinel's working his way through the whole office.
Yo, the only one he not gonna fuck is Alex.
What if he brings Rain down?
In more ways than one. Alrighty, we went there.
Obviously, the Legion's going to play a part in this season. They've already seen it shown a clip where you show the Legion with their rings out.
I didn't see that part.
There's a clip in the new one where you see them start to hold the rings out. So I think they're obviously going to play a part in this whole deal.
So they're going to have their suits.
I hope so. They didn't really show anything other than the hands going out with the rings on there. Do you think they're going to play a part in actually stopping Rain?
I think they all will.
Someone's got to help while Supergirl's taking.
Supergirl's going to deal with all 4? Because I don't think everybody died. I think it's 4. It's supposed to be like 5, and I think maybe there are a couple more in the ship. So there'll be like 5 or 6 of them dealing with it, along with John. Probably it depends on what the budget is. Let's just keep it real. You're not going to see this nigga without the budget.
They ain't all flying. They can't all fly. They can't all fly.
Look, and Carl Lumbly is my spirit animal, by the way.
Oh, that's right. They got another.
Carl Lumbly. They gave Carl Lumbly some coffee. He was like, "What is this?"
That man is hooked. They didn't give this man no heroin. He'd have been.
Turn Carl Lumbly into a dope fiend. Brother John, he can give me another hit. Like,
what are you looking for the second half of the season?
Like I said, I don't want the trope of Samantha being the reason they stop Rain.
Right.
I mean, not Samantha, Ruby being the reason they stop Rain.
Yeah.
Lena is gonna have to find out that Kara is Supergirl somehow. Yeah. Or that James is Guardian, because I'm surprised she didn't see this nigga pull a shield out of nowhere.
Whip the shield out.
He was like, stay down.
Yeah.
First of all, why does his voice go deep all of a sudden? Nigga, you ain't no costume, nigga. Keep your regular fucking voice.
You remember them things that you used to be able to put in your mouth and you can make that weird, like, that whistle thing?
Yeah. Like a kazoo?
Is that one of those that he was using when he just sticks in his mouth and he just goes deep on it?
What do you think?
I expect to see Supergirl. Obviously, they got to figure out how they're going to deal with Rain. I see Rain being someone who stays a problem for the rest of the season. I don't think it's going to be a situation where
she's the bad for the entire season.
She's the bigger bad guy. I think Morgan Edge will have to be dealt with along the way.
I think he gets murdered.
I think he ends up dead, though.
I think he definitely ends up. He doesn't end up like Max Lord. He ends up dead.
He ends up dead for sure. Over on the Flash, we see.
What do you think, real quick?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about Alex and Maggie? Does anything change with that?
I think she moves on. I think they figure out another.
Because I know there are people who listen. I know the people who listen who are gonna be like, "Yo, y'all not talking about Alex Danvers." Alex.
They're in a different mode right now. I think the rest of the season they're going to get back to focusing on Supergirl doing her thing, and they may slide in some of these other little side stories that go on along the way. But I think the rest of the season, if they focus on anyone else, it'll be probably on James and Lena's situation, because they've kind of handled where Alex is going so far in the first 7-8 episodes. Mm-hmm. All right, we got Alex figured out. Here's this other side story going on.
They're developing all their characters until leading up to the culmination. I got you.
Yeah.
So let's go to the Flash.
Yeah,
man.
over on the Flash, we see the full power of manipulation from the Thinker. This is an amazing episode.
DeVoe is that
amazing
dude.
Episode. Both Barry and Caitlin get taken at the same time by DeVoe and Amunet, respectively. We find out that everything that's happened has been all according to DeVoe's plan. Barry eludes him by convincing him he'd already escaped. Caitlin escapes Amunet by convincing Dominic, who's a telepath, to help her escape.
Who was Brainstorm.
Yeah, and Barry even fights DeVoe, thinking he'd beaten him, only to find out that not only did DeVoe survive, he's transferred himself into the body of Dominic and framed Barry for his death.
The dopest thing he did was when Dominic goes to the crib for dinner, and he's like, "Hey, hello, Mr. Allen. This is a lovely family you got."
At his house while Barry runs back to his own crib.
I love the fact that, again, they held true to what they said they were going to do for the season.
Yeah.
And the big bad is not a speedster. So, because we're so used to that.
Yes.
And they said, you know what? No, we're going to have it where it's a dude he's a metahuman, but he can outthink you.
Yeah, and what about those layers of deception set in place by the Thinker? I mean, this is not low level. Like, so there's the thing that happens when you go back and you find somebody's had a plan they've been working the whole time. The thing I always go back to is, are there elements that have happened that he shouldn't have been able to even account for? And so, or that seemed like they're too ridiculous that you would have never, in a plan, you would never expect somebody even to do that kind of a thing. But part of the trick here is that he's already thought out all the scenarios,
4,
and the probability is where he's going.
And he's even said it a couple times, like it's been 4,920 scenarios that could have happened.
Right.
And for him to have everything laid out and say, well, I can stop Cisco from vibing.
Right. He sees the probability and how to make those things happen, and sees all the functionality that has to happen. So, by that token, does that make him better than some of the previous villains that Barry's fought?
Yes, because Savitar didn't expect the compassion.
Right.
There was
and he was largely just a psychopath.
It's just as large as a psychopath because I was creating myself.
Right.
Zoom didn't know what to do. Zoom was just he was just consumed with his hate.
Correct. And another murderous psychopath killer. Right.
And Earbot Thawne was just like, I just want to beat you.
Who I think is probably what I would consider the second best, because Earbart's lasted through a couple different shows now as one of the main bad guys, and has reinvented himself into being a couple different types of characters.
And also has allowed himself to get past time travel and death.
Correct.
So I think
the Thinker is right there.
The Thinker
right
is
now.
the Thinker is thinking ahead, further ahead than what.
I mean, he created Dominic at the end of the day. You found that Dominic was one of the guys on the bus who the Thinker manipulated into a position in which he could use his body later on.
He would have Amunet,
which works perfectly.
Right, had Amunet stab him perfectly. And to get him close to Caitlin and to do everything else. So I like the way they're playing this with that one. Again, it's hard to say what do you want out of this because, again, 23 episodes is a lot. And the problem we always face in all 4 of these shows is filler episodes where we're like, fuck, this was just a throwaway.
Right.
So it gets to be like, yo, this is a great villain. This is a great big bad.
Right.
But then we got to still go through, 12 metas on the bus. This is Dominic makes the 4th.
Yeah.
Bill Goldberg from the WWE.
There's Ralph Dibny. There's the Lucky Chick.
There's
Rebecca Sharp.
There's Rebecca Sharp.
There's the Bison.
There's the Bison. There's the first dude, the computer.
Oh yeah. So Kilgore.
There was.
So this is the 5th.
Yes, this is the 5th.
There's out of 12.
There's 7 more.
7 other ones out
there.
Bill
Goldberg is set to be on 2 episodes.
He's showing up.
More than likely, he's a meta.
Correct.
Because why else do you book Goldberg on a TV show to make him a metahuman?
But you still got to find 7 other episodes of characters,
and that's only 2. And that's only 2 episodes with one person.
Right.
So you've got to make stories transcend for 23 episodes where when you come back, Barry cannot get straight out of jail.
Right.
But we said the same. This is what shouldn't happen. Barry shouldn't get straight out of jail. But remember, we said Barry shouldn't come out the fucking Speed Force right away. And the first episode in the season,
which again leads me back to that part where if they'd have let Wally carry the first 2 or 3 episodes at least, instead of having him back so quickly, they could have probably pushed the storyline further. So I do like this storyline. I'm super into this idea.
I'm here for it.
But my problem is, do they run out of steam in the middle?
Of course,
could be.
I guarantee you.
Rolling. That's the problem.
And speaking of Wally running, he's running to another show. He's potentially running to another show. We'll talk about that in a second.
The title of this episode is "Don't Run." Your thoughts on when that actually comes into play? When he finally gets caught in his own apartment. I mean, obviously he could have moved that body. He's the Flash. He could have hid that if he wanted to, right?
And I think that was. Now this is what I'm thinking about when it comes to that. Barry's natural reactions are to run.
Yeah.
By him not running, he changes the course of what the Thinker thinks. Because again, I pretty much am sure that you'll hear a line that says, "I'm pretty sure the Thinker didn't think I would not run."
There's got to be a point in there where every time that he's been told to run, he runs.
He runs.
And so the other part of that too is I think while people question why he doesn't clean up the murder scene, innocent people don't do that. And so part of his code of believing that you're innocent is that you stand there and face
everything what it is.
We play it out, and because I didn't do this thing, I should come out on top because I didn't do this. Whereas Oliver would probably cover up his mess. This is the difference between these two characters that they've drawn over time, is that Barry is a guy who will stand there and deal with the heat because he's not actually...
And technically, when you look at this story the way it is, okay, yeah, Barry has a restraining order against him by DeVoe.
Right.
But Iris saw DeVoe kidnap him. Joe is a cop. Now, in the previews from the next episode, Cecile says the only way you could potentially get out of this is revealing that you're the Flash.
Right.
So that is not going to happen.
That will definitely not happen.
So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where they go. Again, my biggest fear for the second half of the season is filler episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done our crossover.
Right.
We've done our crossover. So it's like, which was amazing. Again,
I don't want to go through a boatload of filler episodes.
Let's go to the next episode, the next show. Legends of Tomorrow, man.
Yeah, it's another fabulous Legends episode. This one was so good. Takes us back to the Middle Ages.
I like how they gave us Martin Stein without giving us.
We got closure on Stein.
We got official
closure. We've already seen the old man Stein go, and now we get to see young man Stein.
We've officially closed it out.
So you got both of those, and you get that closure with Stein, Jax, and also Firestorm as a character, at least for now.
Well, let's talk. We'll go back to that.
At least for now. Young Stein gets dropped in the New World in Leif Erikson around 1000 AD, where the toy he was trying to buy for his daughter Lily for her Hanukkah present becomes the Vikings' god. Good old Bebo. Bebo, the war god.
Here's quick question.
Make a real life Bebo. They gotta make a real life Bebo. Bebo loves you.
I mean, granted, it's like it's a
Tickle Me Elmo.
It's a Tickle Me Elmo and all these other dolls, but I want a real Bebo.
They end up going to Stave Stein and fix the timeline, leading to a showdown with Damien Dark pretending to be Odin and a run-in with John Constantine. Well, dude, this episode was so much for me. Well,
to see Constantine... Oh, hold on. All right. Well, to see Constantine was a dope thing, man. I mean, I'm glad we saw him. I'm mad we saw him at the end, but again, when it comes to magic... It's a setup. It's a magic thing. Right. You saw... The best part of this whole episode was the beginning with Leo Snart trying to get the team to talk about their feelings... With the Martin Stein puppet. Oh, my God, the Stein puppet. I hollered, bro. Reactions. Jax looked at him like, nigga. Everybody had a different reaction. They were all so mad. How about when what's his face? Big Rory beat the shit out of him? He was like, you got problems with the professor? I just don't like puppets. He beat the dog shit out that puppet. But oh my God, Jackson's face was like, Nick. And by the way, talk to me about this version of Snart, though. Snart is definitely. He's lighthearted. He's much more the lighthearted. He's trying to pull the team together all the time. His interactions with Mick are obviously a big back part of this story that's going on. And the fact that he keeps telling him that his version of Mick Rory is a kind-hearted person. He saved police officers. Police officers died in a fire. Yeah, I saved pigs. Their whole battle with alcohol through this thing, where he's trying to forcibly get him to stop drinking. I think you have a problem. I don't have a problem. I'm pretty sure that we also called out Ava and Sarah when that first was going on. I think we called that out too. I mean, let's just be realistic. We called that out very early on. I mean, you knew. Sarah, listen, the Sarah Lance character has had sex with every female character damn near she brought him to. By the way, there has been Ava Sharp, who's on Legends of Tomorrow. There's been Madeline Sharp, who's been on Arrow, and there's been Becky Sharp, who's been on Flash. I don't know for sure, but there are occasions in which Easter eggs get hidden in DC shows, and there is a possibility that all of these Sharps may be connected. Let me go back. There's an Easter egg we keep forgetting about in the crossover. Point hard at me and tell me about that Easter egg. I'm pointing hard as shit at Bobby. The waitress. The waitress. In the church. And her name is? We don't know. Right. You know what I'm talking about? The one that just kept staring at him, and she was like, no, I'm just so happy. Yeah. She plays a role in all this. There may be something where she comes in. And the Sharps are all a part of it. I just feel that I like that Ava and Sarah, we knew from the first time they fought each other in the first return of the time, when the Time Girl first fought them. You knew that was going to be going on. We did get some closure with Stein. And this part brings us to officially the very last black half of Firestorm.
He talks like he's from West Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, it would be my fault that I got hurt. Because I didn't listen to you and your infinite wisdom. I am sorry, Professor.
Exactly. But he's really British.
Yeah, I definitely knew who he was. I'd read a couple of the comics.
It's the black half of Firestorm.
Well, like my coach always said, out of yourself and into the team.
Here on the Trusty Sidekick podcast.
Okay, listen, I don't have no music for this. There's no music for this one. You get Jax trying to do the whole Back to the Future Marty McFly deal. Yeah. You don't say I found a loophole. I can sit there and tell the professor. You say I write him a letter. Don't you open this letter. Open this letter, Professor. Don't you open it till November 27th, 2017. Show up in this, son. It's about your future, okay?
Save your life someday, great.
And then the fact that Stein was like, well, I've seen Back to the Future. What are you talking about? Like, yeah! Because a lot of professors don't want to save your wife. Let's go save your wife, Craig. What about Lily? What about Clarissa? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, he don't want the letter. And so now, Jackson's like...
burns the letter.
He burns the letter.
God damn it, great.
God damn it, great. This is for your life, my nigga. My nigga, you want to live, it's your life. And then... And so he realizes that, first of all, it got hard when Sarah told him, no, you stay your ass on the ship.
Gray tells him straight up, too. He's like, listen, man, if I don't make it, which it sounds like you telling me, that means I had enough adventures, dog.
Also, he told me, he was like, yo, when I came on the ship and I asked what have I been up to, and everybody just like, you with the family? I was like, nigga, I'm not dumb.
You playing me, motherfucker? I know what the fuck is up.
I know the fuck is up, nigga. And so then we see Jax get his bags. He's like, you know what? I think I need to take some time to myself. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do outside this team.
I can't just be out here. No powers
and shit.
Just run around running shit on the ship.
I mean, if Gray was alive, I could stay on the ship, but he dead.
There's too much for me.
So let me go and get my bag, because all I got is one bag full of clothes.
2017.
All I got is one bag of clothes. Which, by the way,
I've been on this ship all this time. That shit makes all them clothes. He ain't set himself up a wardrobe.
This nigga ain't got no wardrobe. This nigga got
one wardrobe.
I've been on this ship for 3 years, and all I got is one bag of clothes. You know what I'm saying? Tell Nate he can keep my clothes so he can be hip. You know what I'm saying?
And that has been
the last ever Black Half of Firestorm.
He talks like he's from West Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, it would be my fault that I got hurt. Because I didn't listen to you and your infinite wisdom. I am sorry, Professor.
Exactly.
But he's really British.
Yeah, I definitely knew who he was. I'd read a couple of the comics.
It's the Black Half of Firestorm.
Well, like my coach always said, out of yourself and into the team.
Here on the Trusty Sidekick podcast.
Talk about how slick Damien Dark is to arrive like Odin when he does in this. In the midst of them realizing that their god may not be real, all of a sudden Damien Dark shows up.
I am Odin, kill these bitches.
With the long ass hair and everything.
With the long...
And his daughter Nora.
Why did we not give him... You know what? I keep forgetting. We didn't give him credit for like when he was first resurrected, and these mods did a whole segment with Return of the Mac.
Oh, yeah. The name of this episode is Return of the Mac.
But you would have never thought that's why they called it that.
I feel like he's trying to one-up Kavanaugh here as he goes into another character phase. He and Tom Kavanaugh right now are the best at reappearing as new characters over and over again.
But they know how to do it.
It's so great. They do such a good job, and he just eats up scenery every time he's in there. Did you get all of the feels or more than all the feels when Jax gets off the ship? I mean,
I was like, yo, this nigga don't have to leave. I was like, y'all bogus as hell. I was like, y'all, they've said consistently from the beginning that the Legends would always be a rotating cast.
Right.
But just because the dude lose half the... Just because the white guy was like...
with your homeboy off the ship.
Hey, man,
you got feelings.
I got all of my feelings.
Got feelings.
No, nigga, I didn't get my feelings.
That's your boy.
Let me tell you what happened.
He was happy to have a brother on the ship like
that.
Bro,
because here's my thing. In the comics and in the cartoons, Firestorm is by himself.
Right.
So Ray is, even though he's stupid, he's smart. He can figure out...
You sound like a dude whose homie's dying. You know you stupid, you smart. Find a way to save my boy.
Save my boy. But like Gideon can't. You're telling me Gideon can't do the Firestorm Matrix?
Speaking of Gideon, for a second when they lost the first Bebo, I was like, why don't they just make another Bebo? And then they made another Bebo, and I was like, okay, good. For a second, I was like, y'all. That thing makes every fucking thing. Of course, make a Bebo. Make a Bebo, motherfucker.
Yeah, I think Gideon be like, you call yourself a motherfucker. I'm not a motherfucker.
So how about Sarah trying to stop Damien Dark from running away in the end, and then winding up in this zero space area where she's being spoken to by a master wizard, and then coming out and then immediately being approached by Constantine?
I like it, and I think this is where I'm bringing all this up. Season 4 Arrow. Everybody had a big ass problem with magic. Right.
And I think part of that is because Arrow is so grounded.
It's so grounded. So now we can accept all the weird shit that's about to happen.
Legends is crazy. And also Legends is crazy.
But remember,
they're already traveling through time. They're already dealing with a bunch of weird people with a bunch of weird powers.
Vandal Savage started out with magic.
Throw some fucking powers. Right. The whole first season was really built on magic. So I agree. I think I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm excited to see Malice finally appear at some point. That's going to be a big deal, and figure out how they deal with that person also.
I mean, I'm cool with that. So let's go to Arrow, man, the final show in the Arrowverse.
Arrow.
Oliver and Felicity celebrating they win.
The team finally cracks. It begins with a team in celebration, ends with a team in disarray at the worst time.
Hey, bro,
you hated this man from the beginning.
Nigga, so first of all, okay, Curtis is drunk at the wedding.
Right.
Giving his speech like, what the fuck is love? You know, fuck all y'all happiness.
Right.
Which shouts out to Echo Kellum, because my dude.
Our boy from Chicago.
That's how I feel at this moment in life. Fuck your happiness, my nigga. Fuck your happiness. But, and you get Wild Dog, who's like, listen, congratulations to two of my great friends. And you know what, to an extent, when you see the preview of the episode,
right,
and you hear somebody's turn, I'm like, yo, I don't trust that speech. I don't trust that speech.
I trusted this motherfucker from
But
day
I didn't
one.
trust that speech for real.
Not from day one.
And then you get Quentin Lance like, hey, fam, listen,
somebody's turning on you, dog.
He was like, but you see how he was stalling? He was like, hey, shit, the weather.
Can I show you my phone? Can I hand you? I'm gonna set my phone on the table. I'm gonna walk away.
I'm gonna walk away,
and then I'm gonna come back. My hands up. The phone is here or wherever it is. I'll pick it up later on.
I'll talk. He's like, what the fuck is it, Quentin? Hey man, somebody snitched.
You got snitches, and it turns out that Renee has turned state's evidence
because she got everything on you, dog. He was like, she got everything. He said, I won't see Zoe.
Has Renee ever been to the hood before?
No,
Don't
never,
you know how it
never,
works?
never.
Don't you know how it works?
Nope. And that's why every week I've always said on this show, and there, shoot Wild Dog in the face. Shoot him square in the middle of the bridge's motherfucking nose.
So Oliver ends up kicking him off the team. That leads to Curtis and Dinah quitting in response to Ollie's secret surveillance of them, because he surveils them, finds out that Dinah's meeting with Vigilante, which of course is not supposed to be going on.
Here's my biggest thing, though.
She is fucking up.
Here's my thing, though. Why would you be mad at him
for making sure who the leak was?
Why would you be mad? Oh, you don't trust us? I don't have to trust
somebody's turned state's evidence. Obviously, I can't trust you.
I can't trust you.
Right.
Oh, well, if I'm telling you it's not me, then you should trust it's not me.
Yeah, and that's entirely a plan pushed by Kate and James to divide them. And then you see, as the show ends, he's aligned with not only evil Laurel, but also Anatoly, Ricardo Diaz, and the vigilante Vinny Sobel. So he's got himself a whole crew of bad guys.
How the fuck?
Squad, nigga.
I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I started seeing niggas come out the door. I was like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Because I was like, Kate and James know who he is. Well, that's because Laurel probably already told.
Remember, Laurel had already been up
and set the cameras
at the beginning.
But we forgot it. You supposedly forget about it.
Yeah.
And so she set up the cameras.
Yeah.
And you like, okay, so you know he knew.
Yeah.
But then you like, okay, here come Anatoly, here come Vigilante. You're like, what the fuck, yo?
This is a great episode. It goes from the show goes from like celebration to destruction, which, you know, they start off, everybody's together, everybody's happy, everybody's having a good time. And it ends with everybody separated. It ends with the team at odds with each other, which I think is great. It's a great new direction for the show, I think. When you talk about, you got OG Team Arrow versus Little Team Arrow, basically.
Because now they finna go. See, the thing is, they already got their asses whooped before.
Yeah.
So
I like this, though, because before Arrow was really not this.
Right.
And now that they've really kind of gelled, there's always been this little separation between Diggle, Felicity, and Ollie, and then Renee.
No matter who else comes on
Curtis,
board,
and Dinah. There's always been this little separation, but this really blew the door.
Here's my biggest thing, though. When he kicked Wild Dog out, I'd have told this nigga leave my suit.
Right. You also can't take my suit.
You can't take the suit, nigga.
That's queen money to them about that suit.
Nigga, you go back to that jersey and the motherfucking them khaki pants, camouflage pants you was wearing, nigga.
Well, and the thing is that when Ollie had to stop being Arrow for a while, Diggle changed the way that team works. So when Ollie has to go back under the hood, now the team's not working the same way, and Ollie feels like that's a betrayal to him. So,
well, yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen, but the way the story's written up now, it's like, if you know the comic books, the city finds out that the Green Arrow is. They go
in
to
the comic books,
in the comic books,
to the point where he gets revealed that he is.
But I don't think we need that because again, you reveal this nigga's Green Arrow. The FBI is looking for you.
It changes everything.
And there is no statute of limitations for murder.
No. Speaking of which, the struggle that Samantha Watson is actually doing the right job here is part of the difficulty that this show faces, right?
Well, yeah, because it's like something's gonna have to happen where she's gonna have to have her life in danger.
Well, like the reality is that Oliver is guilty.
Hey man, don't ever say that, brother. He is doing the right thing.
Sure, but according to the law,
hey man, fuck the law.
No, I mean, but it's weird that the show should find a way to address this because this is really.
Well, I think it does consistently.
This is really a core issue that's going on here is that like she's trying to chase him down for really what's actually all the right reasons. She's doing the right job.
She's doing the right job.
She's actually doing what she's supposed to be doing. If you were just a citizen somewhere. This is what's supposed to be happening legally.
Well, here's the thing.
There are elements that would take this city over if he didn't exist.
I hate to say it this way. Who is the Green Arrow murdered?
Nothing but bad guys.
Has he murdered anybody recently? The Green Arrow.
Oh no.
See, and that's the
saving grace.
That's the saving grace. The Hood murdered niggas.
Yeah.
The Arrow didn't.
Right. And Green Arrow has not.
not.
So he's got that on his side. It's just vigilante violence.
It's just vigilanteism.
Yeah. And there's a lot to be questioned with that. So I think he skates on it, but he is also still, I mean, vigilanteism is still an illegal thing.
It is.
The only way you get away with it is you have to have threats that are greater than what the police can actually control.
But they in this show now again we talk about the way they're trying to play law and reality.
Right.
Because if you have a vigilante, this is what's supposed to happen.
Right.
Everybody can't.
Still backed by Argus though.
Batman is supposed to be arrested on sight if you can get him.
Of course.
But they play that off so much.
Of course.
Whereas that's the one thing I credit Arrow about because they're still chasing him, but we also keep running into the anti-vigilante or the ASU gets pulled off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The police get pulled off of him because he saved the city.
Right.
But now that the FBI is, which of course is a different jurisdiction in the grand scheme of shit, you know what I'm saying? You bring her in like, yo, you can't just skate this.
Right.
Is it because we're going to look at the law levels in a fake show, you got to ask, okay, so what level are y'all playing this on?
Right, of course.
You know what I'm
I just
saying?
think it's an interesting thing that they don't they don't approach it directly in that way. Do you think she's the inevitable weak link in that team?
Of course
when you look
she
at those villains, her willingness to let Quentin slide, even though they're not really from the same earth.
And I think this is
he
how.
He shot her and she let him go, which is not the level of evil that you thought
when
she
you
was
thought she
at.
was going to blow his whole eardrums out when she was like, run.
Yeah.
I think, again, it's weird because they're supposed to, the storyline has always been Oliver and Laurel.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's clamoring.
That's going to drive a wedge between the Olicity
that's what I'm saying. Does something happen?
Laurel could turn good and cause a drama.
Well, you got to remember, Diggle's character was written for the show.
Correct.
And because of the popularity in the show, he was written into the comics.
Correct.
Felicity, however, I don't know if they're willing to do that.
You don't think they'll put her in the comics?
Because it's a 50-50 on the way the viewers like it.
Right.
Some people love the Olicity. Some people like, yo, kill this chick off now.
Right.
So it's a 50-50. So it's like, if she dies, she dies.
She dies.
But if she dies, do you run with it? Because there is no more Lazarus Pit.
Right.
Is it she's gone?
She is gone.
You know what I'm saying? Or do you do the whole...
She would have to die in a way that would somehow turn Laurel good in the process of saving her to redeem her
and
in a way that Ollie would some point, if the show lasts that long...
Well, they're expecting, as of right now, I was doing some reading real quick, Berlanti and Guggenheim are already plotting out season 4 of Legends and 7 of Arrow.
Of course.
So, which by the way, if Arrow hits 10 seasons, nigga, I'm saving up all my money and buying every costume. I'm letting you know, right? I'm saying it on this podcast. If Arrow hits 10 seasons, I'll be to have my first big gig. I'm buying Oliver's Nazi costume.
Are you buying the Earth X?
I'm buying Earth X shit. Nigga, I'm riding around here with the Prometheus, my nigga. I'm wearing the Mr. Terrific. I'm shooting myself in the face because I'm Wild Dog.
The Wild Dog costume.
I'm gonna shoot myself
with that Last Jedi scar.
I'll get my Kylo scar, but I'm putting a bullet hole in the middle of my mask like somebody shot me in the face.
The Young Diggle brother.
I'm getting that, man. I'm getting that Andy Diggle joint. I'm getting me my Damien Dark. I'm getting the Malcolm Merlin. If this show,
Anatoly suit, man, Anatoly suit
with some cheap ass vodka. That's if this show goes 10 seasons. Cause listen, they are running with it.
Get the Stardust outfit,
nigga. I'm calling Cody Rhodes up personally. Yo, Cody, I need that Stardust, my dude. How much is it gonna cost?
Speaking of which, all the villains have great tie-ins right now. You got Caden James, who's got a long-running feud. Laurel, who's there. Anatoly and Arrow have an issue. Ricardo Diaz and Diggle have their issue. And then, of course, Vinny Sobel and Dinah had their whole thing. They're falling out there.
Which, by the way,
Caden James is a Felicity Smoke enemy.
But no, the whole Vinny and Dinah was like, I need somebody to talk to. A tall, ugly niggas that's burned in the face can still get love.
Diggle, bitch. Go talk to Diggle.
Tall motherfuckers that's been burned in the face with one eye can still get one. Yo, I've been trying to see Dinah. I've been trying to see them bone for a minute. Over on
Gotham's ride somehow got weirder this week. Sophia Falcone does away with both her dad and Laszlo, who is playing the pig, in the same episode while locking down her control of the drone. Penguin attempts to wrest control away from her, only to end up in jail and then Arkham Asylum by the end of the episode, while Bruce is in full party and forget mode, resulting in the firing of Alfred. And of course, before it's over, we find Penguin's neighboring inmate is none other than Jerome, the Joker. Were you expecting Don Falcone to go down in this episode?
No!
I thought he was going to live on.
Because Falcone is supposed to live on.
And he lives on.
So
they've already changed how this is going down. Yeah, I also like the actor. I forget what his name is. John Doman, I think.
Yeah, that's playing Don Falcone.
I mean, so good. Such a good figure to have show up every once in a while. I like the way he was talking to Jim there at the end. You know, but he told him straight up, when you find out really what's going on here, you're not going to like this. Maybe Don Falcone isn't dead. Who knows? Maybe that's all part of a larger plan. I think that would be cool. Speaking of somebody playing on some different levels, Sophia Falcone, that being her whole plot to get back at Jim by putting him under her control for the killing of her brother.
Hey.
Whew, first of all, she's way hotter than her brother was.
So you know what? They did was rehash the Dark Knight Rises.
Thank God that dude's dead.
Well, yeah, Mario Falcone. But they rehashed the Dark Knight Rises. They basically swerved it the way Talia al Ghul played another person to get close to Bruce to make amends for him.
Kind of, but Talia al Ghul didn't play an al Ghul that whole time, whereas Sophia Falcone was up front about the fact she was a Falcone.
Well, she just didn't. Yeah, she was up front, but she was
for sure going to be a bad guy.
She gave him the draws. He got the draws. He got the receipts on them draws. Got the draws, though.
But I thought it was a masterful move, including the pig and everything that was going on, which I thought was solid. How's Jim going to get himself out of this shit? Because he can't be her pawn forever, obviously.
2 episodes. 2 episodes.
And then they're back to some new crazy shit going down. Every couple episodes, there's a different person running Gotham.
2 episodes, and then you get Lee somehow back in the picture somehow, some fucking way.
I still think Lee's got to get killed somehow.
I still don't think they kill her.
Because she doesn't end, she's not around later on.
Yeah.
Lee Tompkins running shit. How long do you think Alfred will be gone? He got fired in this episode by Bruce.
When Bruce got to start doing his own laundry.
The minute Bruce got to wash his own ass. Oh, speaking of which, Bruce having orgies up in this motherfucker.
As he should.
Bruce getting his young orgy on. What is he, 16?
I don't give a fuck. You are Bruce Wayne. You are Bruce Wayne with all that money and that house and them rooms. Get all of the vagina that will come to you, my son.
I think obviously we're showing we're showing that Bruce is way off the rails right now, and of course we get the return of Jerome before the end of the episode.
But we do you have to do the off the rails thing because it teaches him to be that person.
Yeah, and that part, yes, but you also need as far gone as he is, you need something very polarizing to bring him back.
Bring him back into, yep.
And I think the Joker being who he is exactly what they're.
And they said officially he's going to be the Joker now.
They've decided on that. I think they weren't sure for a while, but I think they just kept playing around. They finally,
or
was they playing the whole time? They didn't want to tell anybody.
Bullshit. This is what it was. They were like, he's going to be Joker-esque. He's not the Joker,
right?
And then the whole discussion with, hey, Martin Scorsese's doing a young Joker film and all these other things. Well, let's just go on and do it.
Do you think this guy could make the jump at some point?
Hell,
would they do that? I like this actor.
I like the actor.
The kid from Shameless. He's great.
I think
that little scene of him at the end was solid too.
I mean, that's always been a question we keep bringing up with different shows.
Right.
Can you have this one actor, make that transition? And a lot of the times the answer is yes.
They should. It's just, well, can you pay them TV money ever again after that?
If you no, you can up their contract.
Right.
You can up their contract. It doesn't have to be the regular TV money they were getting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's just your first film, doesn't mean you're gonna automatically get. See, everybody assumes that movie money coming in the gate is this dumbass paycheck.
Right.
It's not. People forget Gal Gadot only got like what, $500,000
Yep.
to do Wonder Woman 1.
Yep.
She was known. She wasn't a major name. It's not until the sequel
money
that she's
you
getting.
can't even get good back end money until you get into the sequel.
You can't even You can't even
upfront money. She was still as much as you may have known who Gal Gadot was
from
maybe
Fast and
before
Furious.
Wonder Woman. She was not.
She wasn't getting them.
She was not at a level to be negotiating hard on a salary.
And people think, because what she did in Batman v Superman, again,
not enough.
She wasn't getting no money there.
Not enough. No.
Henry Cavill just barely. And that's the only reason Henry Cavill got money, because he had done Man of Steel already.
He didn't get money on Man of Steel.
That's what I'm saying, but he had to do Man of Steel to
it's
get
the same
this money.
For all of them. Unless you've already established yourself
Ben Affleck is the only one who comes in this whole franchise.
Ryan Reynolds came into his franchise and took more. When he came into Deadpool, even though they didn't make that movie for a lot of money, he took a break on that, but he got back in on it right away.
He got back because he knew what would happen.
He was already the man, though.
Right.
You already knew who Ryan Reynolds was. Nobody knew who the fuck Henry Cavill was when he got Superman. Nobody knew who Gal Gadot was when she got Wonder Woman. Nobody knew who the fuck them people were.
So I just think they can. I just don't think they will.
Yeah. Over on the Marvel side, on Gifted, we get even more revelations of the family Strucker as the kids now learn more about their ancestors.
These motherfuckers have
their powers.
And they had to stop.
Oh, snap.
But I never thought about it until the way Lauren broke it down. I bring things together. Andy rips shit apart.
Basically a fission explosion.
It's a fucking fission explosion.
The team makes a raid on the compound that's been holding the mutants intended for enslavement, only to have their plan blown and the kids finally taken into custody.
Shouts out to
motherfuck
Jace, because that one I realized
I'll break all the rules.
He was like, yo, they not coming here. He was like, yo, they not coming here. They going there.
Yeah.
And so the character they got Cody Bell playing is dope, because you would think that he would be more distraught just off the loss of his daughter, but what it's doing is it's making him more focused.
It's also good to see someone else who looks like me that gets roles. I'm like, okay, cool. That is
that's because he was cast it. That was because he was Jason Pitts and Dip and Pitts and Dip and Pitts. That is the game reference. If you don't remember the game, nigga.
We finally get some encouragement from the parents in this episode, because they realize that Reed could have also been a mutant.
Well, I think that's the only reason. But he
is a mutant.
He's technically a mutant,
right?
Because the mother was like, wait, hold on, wait. She was like, wait. Your daddy was a mutant,
and your kids are mutants.
Nigga, what about?
Now, I think as a nurse, she'd have a better idea of how genes work.
No, because you know what she treated mutations like? She treated mutations like diabetes in the black community.
Yeah, she was like, we got to try and put an end to this shit.
Because you know with diabetes, they say it skips a generation. So she was like, your daddy had diabetes. Now your baby's got diabetes.
You must have skipped your generation.
She was like, "Oh, you got mute. You got mute."
Also, she treats that shit like they're gonna treat it out of them. We gonna cure all this mutantism.
We just gonna cure this mutantism. But it's weird because like they get to the point where Lauren, when they start becoming like Fenris, Lauren is like, yo, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
And Andy is like, you sure you for this? You sure you for this?
And they keep doing the same where they teeter on whether Andy's going to be a good guy or not. Because remember, even he brings it up where he's like, you guys don't really know whether you can trust that I'm going to do the right thing or not. Like, I may just destroy all the shit.
Well, when they realized they could destroy everything, that was like, yeah, let's just chill.
Yeah. Are you happy that they're building off of recognizable canon?
Yes,
and not just
absolutely.
using them? Like, I'm glad they're not just telling the
Fenris story.
The Fenris story. They're telling it as like, you are the...
I like that doing that, and I like how they did the backstory, how... Remember the grandfather was like, have they held hands yet?
Yeah.
And I think the thing was... When they held hands, if you listen to what they were saying in that backstory, the mother was like, I can't remember what's her name. That's why I keep saying the mother, and I feel bad for doing it. She was like, Lauren's just been acting weird as a teenager,
right?
Which means Lauren's powers have already happened,
right? Well, they showed that flashback to when they were younger.
That's what which one when they were younger?
They showed a flashback to when they were playing in the park. And
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When she was like, Lauren's been acting weird. Right, Lauren's powers had already kicked in. Andy's hadn't yet.
Right.
So
he got a taste of it when
he touched her hand, when he caught it, and they looked at each other.
That almost fucking firestormed on him.
It was like, nigga.
Are you concerned about Lorna starting to make Metal go crazy in her dreams?
Hell yeah, I wouldn't want to be around no chick.
I mean, she's got that Aurora Borealis baby, and they say that that baby may expressing powers like as it's developing, which is
scary.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, here's the thing. As men and women I know too, when you are pregnant, your hormones go crazy, you want to have sex. At what point, this would be the first time in history the baby is like, get that dick up out of here.
What's up with Esme? Do you think she's good? Do you think she's playing them?
I think there's somebody that she's trying to save. She's not telling them who.
Yeah, I think there's some other issues going on with her. I'm not sure what her whole deal with is. I know there was, in the comics, there's the Stepford Cuckoos.
And in the comics, I believe she's one of Emma Frost's kids.
She is one of Emma Frost's.
So,
like, kid, it's like,
so it's something like that.
She's like a Stepford, like almost like a robot.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what it is because it's something she's hiding.
Yeah.
And I don't know where her secret is going to come out.
The Fenner's kids were a bit of an incestuous duo. Are you concerned that...
Nah.
Were you hoping they were going to fuck that building up at the end?
Yo, I was hoping they were going to take that whole motherfucking...
When they get caught, I was like, there's no way they're going to let themselves get caught, right? They can take down the fucking building.
But I don't think... See, the thing is, I don't think that... They were in the basement for one, but I don't think that they're strong enough yet in their powers to protect them all around themselves.
Right.
Like, I think, like, Lauren knows how to throw shit in front of her. She hasn't learned how to make a shield all around her.
Right.
And then this one smart-ass cop to know how to shoot at ankles.
You got that one ankle cop. That ankle cop is a bad motherfucker. Over on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the team is still in space and spread across 3 general storylines. The main story finds Simmons dealing with a child Inhuman for the Kree Cassius, only to have the child be sold away after conquering war and battle. She was getting all the dogs.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
And then she just
don't like
that
this.
man's chest. You don't like him in space?
I don't like... They're doing the Earth 616.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do it justice.
They do reference Earth 616.
Because now that what they're doing is they're doing the multiverse.
Yes.
And I was like, don't do this because DC did it. Please don't.
Well, they have to start creating this because of the quantum realm. So
yeah.
That's explaining how this works. The rest of the team is figuring out, trying to see what happened when they were with Earth. I was trying to figure out how Virgil was connected since he brought them there in the first place.
Then they find out a signal's coming from Earth, from the surface.
Daisy's trying to find another way to help to get help with Deke, who we find out actually sells her out to Cassius before the episode is over. There's a lot of different things going on. Are we still pretty much in agreement they're not going to be in space for too much longer?
Yes,
there's only a couple more episodes of this, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're already 4 or 5. They're already 3 episodes in.
They're like, not staying.
They can't be here this whole time.
They're not staying in space. No.
A large part of this episode is Simmons working with Abby, the Inhuman kid. How dope is Simmons? That motherfucker.
She was like, "Oh, you can control all of your molecules."
Yeah.
I was just upset that she didn't. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be upset because of the way they're building the story, how she allowed herself to be taken away.
Yeah, I know. Like, you think now when she figured out, she ain't got to go nowhere.
Yeah, because I think Cassius only realizes
that dude tried to punch her.
Well, now he knows his whole shit was like his
like an accordion.
His bones broke like you neck.
Crack a lack up. What do you think is going on with the remains of Earth? I mean,
you're trying to convince me that Quake is the reason this happened.
Right.
There has been nothing she's done that has shown me she is that strong. Because she can't use her powers for that long without her goddamn wrist breaking.
Yeah, there's got to be some type of like power amping that happens to help her out of there.
Unless they are really set. Again, this is a multiverse thing.
Right.
Guaranteed the multiverse. So it goes back to they'll come back to Earth because something has to happen.
Is there another Quake out there from a different version?
Remember, Inhumans, mutants, whatever. After Thursday, they'll be mutants. After Thursday,
talk about that in a minute.
But Inhumans, one thing they haven't done, which I respect them doing, is after the Terrigenesis, no 2 powers are the same.
Right.
Unlike in the mutant realm, there are some. Polaris is similar to Magneto,
but in the multiverse,
there's another Quake.
Yeah. I also thought it was cool that May mentioned that like she hasn't had a fucking break yet.
I don't blame her.
May was like, "Nigga, I ain't rushed yet. I was just a Hydra bitch."
She said, "I'm going in my own fucking bed, yo. I'm going in my own. Yo, I ain't paid rent in 3 months, nigga. I'm not sure I have an apartment.
I might been evicted out this motherfucker.
Nigga, do you understand? I got cheese in the refrigerator that is spoiled now.
I probably got rats in the motherfucker.
You know, and these niggas ain't paying rent.
They ain't paying no rent. Do you think Ghost Rider might show up at some point to save them from this deal?
I think they're saving it. I think they're saving it.
When are you gonna get them? Get them back in this motherfucker.
I'm gonna say this like I've been said. I think the next time we see Ghost Rider is in Infinity War.
That would be great. I'd love to see that.
I think that's the next time we see him is Infinity War.
Speaking of some big news, let's give over to the DC news side. There's some news from the Justice League movie. There's been a lot of crazy news about this movie. There's been petitions to try and get the old Zack Snyder version out,
which has been canceled. It's not going to happen.
Won't happen. There were also stories that came out that there were scenes that were shot of Henry Cavill in the black suit.
Pictures have come out.
There are scenes of him in a black suit somewhere. Well, I want to see him.
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
get him out for me. I want to see a fappening. I want to see a fappening, but of just Henry Cavill in black suit. So steal that camera phone. Hack that phone. Where the reference?
There was. Shut the fuck up. I'm not even. I wish y'all could see me because I'm looking at the table, not looking at Bobby. I can't look at Bobby while I say this. There were pictures that were coming out during the initial shootings,
right?
That show Henry Cavill was teasing the black suit because he had it on, and it was everybody was like, "Oh, well, he had the black suit." Man,
it's black and white. It's a black and white picture.
It was like it's a black and white picture. There was like no, it was the suit.
It was the actual.
It was the suit. He was going so.
The documentary on this in about 10 years is going to be great,
the Justice League that was. Oh, nigga, I don't know.
Man, it'd be like this one was a rapist. This one beat his kids. This one. In response to what's happened so far, Warner Brothers has set a box office record in 2017. Only the second time over $5 billion for them. That is got pluses and minuses. The pluses, they made enough money to keep making movies. The minuses, they're going to think they know what they're doing.
And we got more information coming up on that to let you know why they think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, there is a shakeup in the works. John Berg is no longer running the comic book film production division.
So we knew this was going to happen. So
we did talk about this as well.
Let me. We talked about this.
You should probably listen to us.
If you not tell people to come here, yo, we've been calling shit like, well, we kind of told y'all.
We've been saying we told you so for months now.
So Justice League was supposed to hit $1 billion, no matter what. Justice League was like, oh, it's going to hit $1 billion.
By the way, it's only doing about a third of what the Avengers movie did.
Right, which is really bad.
Not good.
And Coco keeps knocking it down. And now this week is going to drop even further because Star Wars.
Coco's a good movie.
But Star Wars is about to come out.
Coco's basically like religion is control, and also here are all the emotions. That's what Coco is.
I heard all the emotions.
Oh, you're going to cry your ass off if you go see Coco. I'm going to tell you right now, as a father... As a father to father, you'll just bawl. You'll bawl the whole.
At least I know that.
Yeah, so you don't watch that by yourself. So or somebody you don't mind crying in front of.
That's hilarious. So we were talking about how. Oh, okay, that was the ghetto bird. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's the helicopter.
This is Los Angeles. There are helicopters. If you're listening, there will be helicopters.
So when Justice League was supposed to come out, when Batman v Superman came out, it was supposed to hit $1 billion.
Right.
Never touched it.
Never got there.
800
and some million. I think.
Right, and stayed there. They just knew that Justice League would crack the $1 billion.
Right.
And they're trying to blame it on critic reviews and all this other stuff. I think Warner Brothers got so greedy, they wanted to hurry up and get stuff out for Christmas toys. They got greedy for that. They didn't want to take the chance of pushing it back. They screwed themselves. And that's why this movie hasn't cracked that amount. And we said that with that, we said if Justice League does not crack $1 billion, watch some shakeups happen.
Well, there's also problems between Time Warner and Warner Brothers. Time Warner's been embroiled in this attempt to try and sell itself to somebody else. They've got Warner Brothers in the mix here. There's two different groups of people who are leading everything going on here. And they're mad that Warner Brothers keeps trying to bring Snyder back, especially after Batman vs. Superman got destroyed by critics, even though it made money. And they're also upset that each DC film makes less money than the one before it. They're not making more money; they're making less money every time, which is not what they want to have happen.
Because you're budgeting so much in these movies, and you're not getting a return on it.
Yeah. So as you posted, there's a new slate they've got an updated slate of movies. Now, this doesn't mean these are the only ones that are coming, but these are what they got title cards for.
So tentatively, basically, let's go here. In the Comic-Con experience in Sao Paulo, Brazil,
right?
I guess this is a new Comic-Con situation, and everybody wants to have something hitting the ground floor with this. So Warner Brothers,
it's a big South American convention.
Yes. So Warner Brothers, DC, whichever one you want to call it, and I have to say it that way because New Line Cinema is involved in a lot of these.
Correct.
Are decided to drop their slates for films. And the first one they led off with to let you know about was Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman was their most successful, critically received.
It won't be the next one coming out, but for sure it's coming.
Right. Wonder Woman, as again, would have been a perfect movie, was not for the third act.
Right.
Just will keep saying that. So they gave you slates for Wonder Woman 2, Aquaman, Flashpoint, which is official.
Right, which they were very happy. That's what, two of the things they did like out of the Justice League were Aquaman
and the response to Flash.
Yeah.
And they know now, Ben Affleck has said on record, I will do the Flashpoint movie.
Which means that will allow him to bow out.
That's his
That's
out.
how he gets out.
That's his out. Justice League Dark is still going to happen. Suicide Squad 2. Batgirl with no Joss Whedon now.
Are you sure it's no Joss Whedon?
I heard he was not doing it.
I heard that rumor was shot down.
Okay.
When it first came, when Justice League first came out and didn't get great reviews, there was a lot of talk that they were going to take him off of that, but that is
that has not changed. Okay,
that has not changed.
Shazam,
right?
Green Lantern Corps,
right?
And the Batman.
That's all they got right now.
Now,
no Cyclops.
No Cyclops. Wrong.
Or Cyborg. I mean.
Yeah, I say wrong.
I have Cyborg written down. I said Cyclops.
I know. I just want to see how you're gonna do that.
No Cyborg.
No Gotham City Sirens.
No Harley Quinn solo or Joker movie.
No Black Adam.
No Deadshot.
No Deathstroke.
And no Young Joker.
You know what that means? Some of these movies aren't happening because there's no way that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. In the next 5 years,
there's no way
they're putting out 17 movies.
There's no way. Here's the thing:
Marvel has put out 18 movies over 10.
Now here's the thing. Here's something that people don't realize.
What people don't realize?
When you look at a large movie studio's actual releases over the course of the year, it's only in the range of 15 to 20 movies total.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that you're going to put out a good percentage of what a studio, it's not going to happen.
And this is Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers did not make their money this year on these movies.
No, they
made their
did
money
not.
on other movies.
No, they did not.
They made their money on other movies this year.
You telling me what? Yeah, because with this slate now, again, I understand we have diehard DC fans who listen to us. I love y'all just as much as I love our Marvel fans. But with this slate of what they've announced, and this is till 2022. You basically have to realize we're in 2018 now.
Yes.
People are like, oh, it's only a couple weeks. We're basically in 2018.
Yeah, the new season is coming.
New season is coming.
You know, they benefited from it. They benefited from Dunkirk. The Lego Batman movie made them a bunch of money. Kong Skull Island made them a bunch of money. Annabelle Creation made them a bunch of money. Blade Runner Underperformed, it still made them a bunch of money. Those are all movies that
go
came
back
out
to
in
the top. Now listen. Go back to the top.
Now Wonder Woman is the big one.
Okay, now look, go back to the movies that you just said.
Yep.
Go back to listen again. It has a sequel coming out next.
Dunkirk.
That's done. That was one and done.
But it's Nolan. So
it's
Nolan. Nolan's gonna get you money.
Nolan's gonna get you money.
Lego Batman movie.
They will do
There's
another.
Always more Lego movies.
There's always more Lego movies.
Kong Skull Island.
They're already doing King Kong Godzilla.
Annabelle Creation.
They're keeping that going.
Yep. Blade Runner 2049. Probably gonna get another one of those. Somehow they will find a way. If it made money, they will find another way.
So with just
WB releases,
with just those movies, with just those on top of the movies we named between 2018 and 2022, which ones do you think they'll focus more on?
17 releases they had in 2017. And that you think they're going to get, in the next 5 years, you're going to get 20 films
that will not happen.
That are superhero films?
That will not happen.
They released two straight live-action superhero films
in a 2 year...
out of 17
so you're not,
films they released.
And the problem is, if they... Now, I know there are a lot of people out there saying that it can be done. It can happen. Yeah, but guess what'll happen if you try to do
that?
No. Guess what'll happen?
A lot of shitty movies.
A lot of shitty movies.
You just can't produce that much.
You're going for quantity over quality.
Talent. There's not enough talent available to write that many good superheroes. Because there just isn't. I know everybody wants what they want, but
also when you
some of those guys are currently writing comic books.
Yes.
Some of those women are currently producing TV somewhere where they're working on something that's not superhero related. And they should be. Some of those, whoever are working somewhere else right now. Some of those people are working for Marvel. Some of those people are working at the new Umbrella Academy show that they're working on. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff now that's not just going to be behind Marvel and DC anymore when it comes to these. Of the movies that they do have coming out, Shazam has made some casting news. Jack Dylan Glazer, who was in the movie It, has been cast as Freddie Freeman. That's Billy Batson's friend from the Orphanage. He does go on to become Captain Marvel Jr. At some point, he goes by CM3 because there's Miss Marvel. Also, she is CM2.
Yes, there is.
At some point, Billy Batson gets a hold of the Reality Stone, I think it is, and then that's when this guy, Jack Dylan, Freddie Freeman kind of takes over. Ian Chen from Fresh Off the Boat and Jovan Armand from Bella and the Bulldogs are set to appear as two of Billy Batson's friends, Eugene and Pedro.
So we're going to see a lot of the kids from the Orphanage.
Yeah, the Orphanage is probably going to play a big part of this.
It has to.
What's his face? The guy who shouldn't be playing Shazam, Zach Levi. He said it's going to be very much like Big, which is like, yeah, of course it is. Of course it's going to be like Big. Oh, you mean a little kid who says a word
and grows up?
Adult?
Of course it is.
Of course. Big.
But I think I think he had to use that for the people who don't know who Shazam is.
Don't.
There's some Titans news, which again, I don't know what they're doing yet with this because they're casting weird things, and it's like I want us to get.
Donna Troy works though. They're looking to cast somebody who could be Donna Troy, which is Wonder Girl. That's a member from the Titans. I'm in. We talked about last week how we saw Robin's costume. I like that.
They're trying now. There's actually questions and confusion as to which Robin this is because of the look of the costume. Because of the look of the costume.
Give me Dick Grayson.
They're saying they're saying this might not be Dick. This might be Tim Drake.
They're trying to do some dumb shit.
This might be Tim Drake. Because if you look at the costume, there's a different.
Jason Todd.
You want the one to get the dog shit beat out of him become
How do you get that story going if you?
But he doesn't become a Titan. He never goes to be a Titan.
I just want Jason Todd to get murdered.
So Jesus Christ.
For the story, for the culture, for the culture.
So for the culture, nigga, for the culture,
for the superhero culture.
Okay, so they're saying because of the look of the Robin costume, if you look at the differences, this is the Tim Drake Robin, right, as opposed to the Dick Grayson Robin. So
I'm not excited about that. Dick Grayson's always my favorite Robin. That way you get him in Nightwing at some point.
But they're doing this is what they may do.
Oh, because there's a Nightwing movie.
There's a Nightwing movie done.
I do like the idea of separating Dick Grayson, the Nightwing movie character, from whatever guy's playing Robin in Titans.
I don't want because I don't need we don't want two Dick Graysons running around.
Okay.
Say it with me. I get it. Okay.
I get it. There's some CW Supergirl.
So we should have said this earlier.
Shooting schedule.
So here's what the schedule is going to do. So now their airing schedule is going to change.
Yeah, we get a flip flop here, which is going to save us, as we mentioned on the website.
So
this is a lot better for you and me.
It's a lot better for us. However, they are going to. You have to add in Black Lightning too, but
Black Lightning comes on Tuesday though.
So now
this is the Monday shooting schedule for Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow.
Airing schedule. You should say.
I'm sorry, the airing schedule. Yes. They're going to flip flop episodes throughout the rest. of the season.
So a lot of people have been actually complaining about this, and I don't know why because they're like, "Oh, I just got used to this new schedule," but that's
23 episodes in a row, 23 Mondays in a row. No matter what, you will get a superhero show.
So from January 15th to February 5th, you're going to get 4 episodes of Supergirl.
Into it.
From February 12th to April 9th, you're going to get 9 episodes of Legends going into the season finale.
Right. So we'll get the final 9. So right now, Legends is done till it comes back on February 12th.
So they still don't have. So they don't have a 23 episode order.
February 12th, you're going to get the last 9 episodes. So
that's it.
That's it.
Oh, so they only got 17 episodes?
That's it.
No, is it even 17?
Shorter season.
Okay.
Shorter season for them this
year.
From
April 16th to June 18th, you're going to get the last 10 episodes. Well, you're going to get 10 episodes of Supergirl, which will culminate in the season finale on June 18th.
Right.
And Black Lightning will debut on Tuesday, June 16th.
January 16th.
January 16th, excuse me. What they're I'm kind of guessing what they're doing is because Greg Berlanti and the crew have realized we dominate the CW. I think Dynasty maybe theirs too. I know Riverdale is there.
They've got 5 new shows they're looking to premiere in the second half of this.
So what they're doing is you can't, as much as people say they want to see it, and we would say it probably too. Nobody wants to watch 5 superhero shows.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Okay,
and they know they can. What they're counting on is they can get so many superhero viewers per week, and so they're not going to trash that by oversaturating the week with superhero shows because they don't think their viewership's going to get any higher.
No, it could potentially get lower by doing that.
Get lower by doing that. Yeah.
Now, Mark Guggenheim has talked about.
I do say this though before we move on from that. I think that we're going to see some more trouble for Supergirl with Reign because you're getting 4 episodes and then it's gone for 9 weeks. So they're going to give you probably some real.
Do you think you get another World Killer?
I don't know, but I expect those last 10 episodes. They better be balls to the wall.
No, I'm saying, do you think you?
10. I think so. Yeah,
because she's already because there's no way you let Kara get her ass beat just by the same person twice, by itself.
Right.
There'll
be one more elevation.
Yeah, there has to be another elevation from that.
Yeah.
So can we go to next?
Yeah, let's go to the next episode.
So Mark Guggenheim. So we talked about the Legends and what just happened with the departure of Jax and now the departure of Stein.
Yep.
So, Mark Guggenheim has said that they've always had a plan to replace Firestorm on the Wave Rider, and with 2 empty seats, you can expect, of course, more than one replacement. And both are already established from the
That's
Arrowverse.
What he says. Guggenheim says there are already people who are established.
Which means they could either use Curtis, and if they add the Ray, it means Fireworks and Snart's exit.
Don't you think?
It's a way to get him because he has to leave.
Because Curtis and Ray might be the new. That's how Curtis saved himself. You gotta get a brother on the show. Curtis is no longer on Team Arrow. They need a technician on the ship.
Also, but alternatively, they can still use the Red Archer, Roy, who's been seen on set.
Correct.
And in the Speedster, Wally.
Wally's looking for work.
Because they have said Wally's been fighting monsters and aliens now.
Right.
So him fighting somebody alongside the Legends doesn't seem like much of a stretch.
And you don't have to worry about the timeline there where you can say Wally said that in a previous episode, but he'd already been out fighting them in the future, in the past. Who knows when Wally gets taken and decides
now, it still gets confusing because here they haven't been fully established yet. The Blue Beetle and Booster Gold are often in a discussion.
Yeah. Did you know that Brandon Routh was supposed to originally play Ted Cord?
I don't see that.
Well, they decided not to once they got him. They're like, nah, you're going to be the Atom.
And they won't rule out a crossover with the Arrow or Titans.
So that means, they're talking about with Arrow and Titans.
Arrows and Titans.
Yeah, so Titans and Arrow may still end up being.
Well, I can see that. You know why? Both are darker shows.
I fucking love that. Could you imagine Robin and Arrow? And...
the only thing I'm worried about, the only thing I would worry about is just Beast Boy.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, so let's go to our Marvel news. So listen, this is our last bit of news. We're going to take you through it. Now, here's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
the merger that
this is gigantic news.
This is so again in some more We Told You So news. The Disney Marvel and Fox merger news. It is officially on the table and is officially set. There's expected to be announced that it is complete and a done deal as of this week, Thursday. We are recording this on a Tuesday, so in 2 days it is set to be official. I will say it again. When the deal initially was brought up, and then later in the day things had backed off, Bobby and I said they did it to see what was going to happen, what type of response they were going to get. That deal was going to go through to see who else comes out the woodworks. What happened? Comcast came up. Comcast backed down. It is now officially.
Basically, Disney was like, "Go ahead and test your price out.
See
if somebody else gonna pay that money, and when they don't, we gonna be here."
So
and Comcast was like, "We ain't paying that money."
And Comcast was like, "Nah, y'all good.
Like, y'all still got a deal on the table."
So we basically told y'all. Now
we did talk about a problem that they might.
That's
have
what I was about to bring up.
There's
the biggest thing that people are excited about. I think I was too loud in the headphones for me because I know I was all in the mic for a second, and I know I see because it's
so you was caressing them.
I was like, yo, blah, 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 blah. So the biggest thing that people have been talking about with this deal is the fact that we may get the inclusions of both the X-Men and Fantastic Four into the MCU. Now, that may not happen on neither level. And I was thinking about the second level because you told me about one.
Right.
And I want you to bring up the one you were telling me about.
So the one I talked about was the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, while Fox was the one distributing those movies were produced by a company called Constantine, who originally got the rights from Marvel to produce those movies. And the deal was they had to have a movie in production at least once every 7 years to maintain those rights. They've had 4 of them so far. They've had Fox distribute 3 of them, the other one being the $1 million Roger Corman version, which
that we never saw.
I've seen portions of it.
You have?
I have. So, those things have never seen the light of day. But Constantine is in control of Fantastic Four, which means just because Marvel buys Fox, that does not mean they have access to use the Fantastic Four. They would have to get Constantine to be okay with that. They'd have to work with them and maybe they'd have to worry about distributing something that Constantine produces. That's the Fantastic Four side. You have info on the X-Men.
Here's the X-Men side. Here's the mutant hang-up. Deadpool. And I'll tell you why Deadpool is the key behind all of this.
Because of the rated R?
Because he's rated R.
I don't think that's a problem.
No. Here's why he's a problem. If you take Deadpool out, he's an essential part of the X-Men universe now. And the X-Men universe is a part of him.
I don't know if he's an essential part of being in the actual...
Well, the X-Men universe is a part of him now.
X-Force.
If they X-Force, yeah, but that's still X-Men universe.
You can still play him off to the side.
That is still X-Men universe.
But you can still run the X-Men across without ever having to have... That's not going to keep them from using the X-Men, I promise you.
You think
Deadpool will not keep them from using the... No, because Deadpool doesn't really play with the X-Men a whole lot. You can keep him separate as a character where he does his own movies and occasional X-Men character rolls over, but you don't need to make it that...
You sure?
Yeah. How many more Deadpool movies do you think you got?
At least 2.
Okay. You think he doesn't have to fuck with anybody in Marvel at a period of time.
I
think you can get away with that. There's too many characters that are...
I kind of get what you're saying. Also, I will say this. If this deal is announced Thursday, the only thing you may get in Infinity War is a shing claw sheathing.
I don't even know if we got that in this movie. I think that's you
got to remember, it's not difficult to do a post credit scene.
I understand.
I'm not saying we have to see an actor.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have to see an actor. We can just see claws unsheathed.
That's still possible.
It's possible.
I don't believe it will happen. Not for that one. Maybe the next one.
Because if by some grace somehow Disney and Marvel, because Constantine don't want to, they're like, yo, you want the Fantastic Four, we need $47 quadrillion bajillion dollars. And they would give it out.
Here's what makes me happy that you would hate if the X-Men on their way back from the Phoenix issue make appearance and if the X-Men come back from Dark Phoenix, make an appearance in Infinity War. I'm looking at your face right now. You look like you're gonna strangle me.
Hey, nigga, if Ty Sheridan,
I see Ty Sheridan show up,
and Jennifer Lawrence show
high five.
Nigga,
high five.
No. The only thing I want to see, if this is why I would love, nigga, no.
I want to see Spider-Man and Nightcrawler. I want to see Cody Smith McPhee.
I hate you so much right now.
Speaking of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, the production begins in June of 2018, right after Infinity War premieres.
Which, of course, it's got to, because Infinity War premieres in May, so they can't there's going to go into full swing promotion, which means Tom Holland needs to be at all these press junkets.
There's some foreign stuff he's going to have to go to as soon as they're done.
As soon as they're done.
Yeah.
Now, here's the problem, speaking of foreign.
This could be the start of issues for me.
Gwen Stacy is set to be a major character in Spider-Man Homecoming 2. Okay?
Fine, no problem.
But... she may be a foreign exchange student.
What?
There's a leaked audition from a French accent that has denoted her having the accent in it as the character.
Not into it.
So...
No. No. Not into this at all.
I don't know, because what that does...
Gwen Stacy's dad was Captain fucking Stacy.
And you have to change Captain Stacy.
What are you doing? There's a point to this here.
Yeah, this
is not... Don't fuck with my shit now.
Okay. I'm good with you on that.
Come on.
Also, Marvel News, shout out to our homie, man, Chad Briggs, who appears in the Empire Academy commercial for The Gifted. Hey, man, we saw... Look at this Chad.
Yeah, there was a cool commercial that came out that shows the M Academy. I think that's what it was. And it's a really neat commercial. Chad Briggs plays a dad. Never knew he had a mutant kid. That's nice to learn. You could have told somebody, but Chad Briggs making an appearance. Find out it's the Empower Academy commercial for The Gifted. Yeah. Make sure you check that out. It's probably on YouTube.
Jessica Jones officially has her release date. It's March 8th, 2018.
Good time.
New trailer did drop, and also Kilgrave is in the trailer.
Yeah, how do you feel about Kilgrave being back?
Flashbacks,
right? Only flashbacks. Every episode directed by women,
which we've been talking about. I'm behind that. Alice Eve from Star Trek has been cast in Iron Fist season 2.
I like Alice Eve. She's been in a bunch of good movies. She's a good actress. I'm not sure who she's playing in Iron Fist season 2. They haven't said yet. But
please don't do shit else with the hand. The Punisher is officially in the quickest renewal ever.
This is a very fast renewal. It's been out for a month.
Yeah, less than a month.
Airplane going by.
As we
Welcome
record
to
this
LA. I'm by the airport.
As we're recording this, it isn't even officially a month yet.
It has not been a month yet, and The Punisher has been renewed for season 2.
They were like, what are you waiting for?
Now, obviously, there's been some news that came out today. Netflix is obviously watching what people watch. They've been sending out some things basically saying, they know somebody's watched how long people are watching certain things. So if they've already renewed Punisher, they know that people were watching. They know people watching it.
Yeah. Now, speaking of things that for damn sure ain't been renewed, God bless America, Ming-Na Wang, who plays Agent May in
she had a little whoopsie.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she had a little whoopsie and basically opened her mouth and confirmed that Inhumans has officially been canceled.
Yeah, somebody asked her if there was going to be a crossover between Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she goes, I think that got... And then she just stopped and started laughing. There is video of it. You can find it online. They're not taking it down, but she literally goes, I think that got...
And that means canceled.
And starts laughing.
That means canceled.
It's not renewed for another season.
Of course not. It was so horribly reviewed. Oh, my God. Speaking of horrible movies that I don't know why they're happening, okay?
This is coming.
Okay.
We do need to talk about this.
I don't want to, but my soul has to. Venom. Yeah.
There's a Venom movie coming. It gets worse for this movie every time I hear about it.
So, the first banners were released at the Comic-Con experience in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Up on our website?
We have indeed. And they've said we've got a kind of a backstory plot as to what's going to happen. Now, here's where it gets really confusing, okay? It will be based on both the Lethal Protector and Planet of the Symbiote series, both starring Eddie Brock, as well as the bunch of symbiotes. And those symbiotes, if you don't remember, those are the symbiotes from the Maximum Carnage, which are yellow, blue, green, phage, something like that. The story goes that Eddie Brock and Peter Parker had an agreement that Brock would go to San Francisco to live as long as he wouldn't kill anybody anymore.
What a tenuous decision.
I mean, nigga, you just stop killing.
Let's make a deal. I'll stop killing, and you let me go to San Francisco.
And there is some breaking news of who may be joining this film.
Well, hold on here. First of all, they advertised this movie originally saying it was going to be a biosuit, which is not Eddie Brock.
That is Flash Thompson.
They show picture of Tom Hardy in military gear, also Flash Thompson. Now they're telling us that the movie's based off of Lethal Protector and Planet of the Symbiotes. When you look at those comic books, he's in a symbiote suit. He's not in military. Are they crossing up the characters? Are they just going to mash this together and say, fuck it?
Yeah.
Tell me about the breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. Motherfuckers who just need to check. Because that's how I feel. I'm sorry. I love this dude as an actor, but I feel like you just want to check.
Yeah, he stopped smoking weed and started making bad decisions.
Woody Harrelson is in talks to join the movie, and it's not a lot.
Smoking weed, Woody.
Please, you make better decisions that way. It's not a large role, but he'll be a part of it.
I think it's probably gonna be a large role, but they lie on the motherfuckers.
Of course, you're not gonna have Woody Harrelson just to have him, unless you do.
Yeah, just a henchman. There's gonna be a henchman in the movie. Get the fuck out of here.
Remember in Austin Powers Goldmember, I think it was.
He ain't gonna be no motherfucking henchman.
Other Spider-Verse.
Like Beyonce.
So in other Spider-Verse news, Silver and Black. Yeah, that movie is. The one that's being directed by Gina Blythewood.
Silver Sable and Black Cat.
Yeah, the one directed by Gina Blythewood. Yeah,
they're trying to find a.
It's going into production.
Trying to find a Margot Robbie-like character for one of these roles.
And it's going. And it goes into production next year. Now, here's the thing.
It's gonna be like a Thelma and Louise kind of a movie.
It's a Thelma and Louise. It has been casted. I guarantee you. We just have not had the announcements yet.
They haven't made the announcement
because it's got to go into production next year. Also,
Nightwing announcement coming in the spring.
Nightwing. That's DC news. But yes, there's also more news.
I throw that out there. Fuck it. Throw back.
There's also more news behind Silver and Black because right after that, guess what they're going to do next?
Morbius,
the living vampire. The script is all, talked about that, and the script is being written.
Yeah, by the guys who wrote Power Rangers. So you're looking for a quality screenplay. You don't expect.
So no, because remember there was talks about it might happen. It is official. Morbius is going to. Not at all. And in our last bit of news, which I still want to shoot myself in the face.
This is the Redemption movie.
This is not.
Bryan Singer's gone. Expect a better production set.
Well, you got to remember also this movie. Singer was only production. The movie was supposed to be directed by Simon Kinberg, who
it is directed by Simon Kinberg.
Let me say this. It's labeled by Simon Kinberg, who could not control the cast, and so the film had to be ghost directed for the majority of it. So, X-Men: Dark Phoenix. The first pictures and the stories have come out from Entertainment Weekly.
I've heard people are a lot happier about this. So the actors who are on it are a lot happier with the acting going on here.
Which means that's the ghost director. Set in 1992 now. Xavier is starting to get cocky, and the X-Men are official heroes.
Yeah, he sends them off to space, and then they get hit by a blast, which starts the whole Dark Phoenix situation going on.
Kinberg has some statements on this movie, though.
Yeah, he's talked about the depth of the story going on here. He's talked about the larger showing of Cyclops in this. Obviously, Jessica Chastain's playing a big villain in this.
Which they still won't say
who
who she
won't
is.
open exactly who she is. I'm fine with that, though. I really think that whether it's being ghost directed or not, I think that moving Bryan Singer off of this movie
you had to.
is going to create a much better movie when it's all said and done.
Had to.
Kinberg accepted some of the issues that people had with Age of Apocalypse and is looking to do something better. Which I'm always. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I will always like when someone doesn't try and defend a thing that people don't like, and instead goes, "We're trying to do better."
Well, no, that's not my problem. My problem is the biggest problem. The biggest problem with Age of Apocalypse was your bad guy.
Right.
So here's what the issue is: how do you address that in a movie that doesn't bring him up?
What do you mean?
You don't have any more Apocalypse in Dark Phoenix. He's gone.
Yeah, so
what are you addressing?
they're not about addressing it. He's talking about like creating a better movie than he's.
Oh, okay.
He addressed the fact that people had problems with the last movie, so he's going to try and make a better movie
film. Okay.
than what people saw. Like he takes into account what people have said about that movie they didn't like.
Okay.
And is not trying to repeat those mistakes in this new
Makes
in this
sense.
new film.
I got you.
Also, Magneto is going to possibly be drawing in the Dark Phoenix to help her control her powers.
We're doing X-Men: The Last Stand again.
Well,
no, that's exactly what X-Men:
he's
The
on
Last.
Genosha in this, so we get Genosha. Hey, listen, man. Those are the stories about the X-Men, okay? Genosha's always a part of it.
I don't think you all know what just happened.
Jay almost threw his headphones.
I almost threw my whole. Because you don't need. Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me Asteroid M is coming.
You know, I am I've been a defender of the more recent X-Men movies, the more recent slate. I am still a supporter of those movies.
Yep.
I am expecting to see Simon Kinberg do a better job. And
hold on just a little while
what you got going on this week?
longer. Hold on.
Just spend all this money? What you got going on this week, Jay?
Hey man, I am doing this Saturday. I'm honored to be doing Jay Davis's show at the Laugh Factory, 7:30 p.m. Man, the lineup is super dope. So I'll be a part of that. For more information, just find me on Twitter because I ain't updated my website. I'm getting a new computer soon, so for some reason I ain't updated anything. So make sure you check me on that. I got a lot of other stuff I'm working on, different things. I'll be in and around. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Mr. J Washington, MrJaywashington. I will say this, just because the holidays are coming up doesn't mean I'm not going to be working. So I'm trying to make stuff happen while everybody's like, I should be enjoying my family and friends. Nigga, I'm around here working. What about you?
I will be in Chicago next week for a few days. Check out my website. I'll have all my stuff up there on there. It's bobbyhill.com. You can find me on social media at mocha_Jesus on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, you can find us at Sidekick Trusty on Twitter, Trusty Sidekick Pod on Instagram, and thetrustysidekick.com.
Also, when you go to TrustySidekick.com, make sure you go to our Patreon link. Our Patreon link is up and active. For different tiers and different levels of donations, we will do different things. So for a $5 donation to us, it helps us improve the podcast, improve our quality, improve our equipment, bring more people in, get us going to different locations, to different Comic-Cons, interviewing more people. $5, we give you a shout-out. $10, we have you on a social media blast. $20, I believe, you're getting exclusive content. You're going to get, if you go like 25, 30, something like that, you'll be able to get like merchandise from us. 50, if you donate 50, I draw a lot of pictures, and you will actually get
He's a great artist.
You will get the actual picture I've drawn. Okay, you won't get a print copy. You will get the actual photo. I mean, it's gonna look like, yo, he's been working on this. It's not done through a walk-on pad. You know, I like doing it the old-fashioned way with pen and pencil, with color pencils and things like that.
It's legit art.
So it's legit. You'll get that from us. So please check out our Patreon for that, okay? It is on thetrustysidekick.com. There is an icon, or this word, say click the link, Patreon, go right there. Also, again, as we told you guys earlier, this is our last for the year, basically.
This is our last review and recap episode
for the year. What we got coming up for you guys is you're gonna get new podcasts every week.
There are new episodes coming.
So here's also, if you donate to our Patreon or whatnot, we will try to add you into your shout outs and things like that, so we will not forget about you. But what you got coming up from us?
You will be remembered.
You got our best and worst films of 2017. There are a lot of films here. Some have been good.
There's been a lot of worse.
There's been worse. And don't automatically think it's Justice League. Just so everybody gonna say, oh, you gonna say Justice League is worse. We'll also be doing another episode of our best and worst TV shows of 2017. TV has brought us a lot this year. And I think we might be in agreement of what could be the worst. But so we'll be doing that. And also we'll give you our predictions for 2018 and beyond. So those will be upcoming episodes you guys will have. For the Patreon subscribers and those who donate to those who are our patrons of Patreon, you'll be getting exclusive content. Oh yeah, that is one of the things. I believe for a $25 donation, you get a chance to have a Skype call with either one of your sidekicks. So you can have a Skype call with Bobby, a Skype call with me. We'll just chop it up and talk, in a certain amount of time, and we'll do all that. All right, so make sure you follow all of that. We got everything coming up for you guys to end out the year. Okay,
that's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. With that being said, man, we wrapped up episode 74 of the Trusty Sidekick podcast here on the Laugh Every Podcast Network with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington.
And me, your resident superhero, Bobby Hill.
Hey, man, we will holler at you guys back officially in 2018. We love you all. Thank you all. Happy holidays.
Be safe.
Overall, happy Hanukkah you're celebrating now.
Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Hanukkah.
Happy whatever your shit is.
Happy whatever your shit is.
Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
And we will talk to you guys in 2018. Take care. We are out of here. Peace.
That's what's up.
Merry New Year.
Laugh Factory Network.